evening and welcome to the evening news for today, Wednesday, November 2, 2022. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. Korean firm pitches plan for Silica City as other investments being explored. Skills training jobs among government's plans for TUCVILLE youths, says Ali. Opposition incapable of putting aside politics and embrace good initiatives, says AG. Government to soon conduct feasibility study on establishing law school in Guyana, and authorities hope to end year with under 100 road fatalities. Now for the news in detail. South Korean company Yecon Architect, whose representatives are in Guyana along with U.S.-based companies exploring opportunities for partnership and investment, today presented what their 7-year plan would be for Silica City. Here is Gerald Bryan with our lead story tonight.
The presentation on Silica City was made before President Dr. Irfan Ali at the Artachon Conference Center on Wednesday. South Korean company Yecon Architect and urban planners made a video presentation laying out how they would develop Silica City, which is being built by the government up the Suicide-Linden Highway. According to their proposals, the city will be carbon-free, complete with housing, energy, transportation, healthcare, education, and recreational facilities. Mention was made of smart farms, a hypermarket, and commercial center. They are proposing that the city could be completed by 2030. Other Korean and U.S. companies meanwhile made video presentations on what value they could provide. President Ali stressed during the proceedings that the local private sector should take up the opportunity for partnership, especially in areas such as agriculture. Meanwhile, Finance Minister Dr. Ashley Singh expressed hope that the companies will set up shop locally. Silica City has generated much interest. It was only in September that another group, Dar Consultants, had made a presentation on the project. Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
An outreach to the community of TUCVILLE by President Dr. Irfan Ali on Wednesday solidified the government's agenda for youth development in the country. As we hear in this Rupasina Ryan report, the head of state announced major plans for youths in the community, including job creation and skills training programs.
President Dr. Irfan Ali on Wednesday spearheaded the TUCVILLE-Georgetown community visit with Foreign Affairs Minister Hugh Todd, Housing Minister Colin Crowell, Culture, Youth and Sports Minister Charles Ramson Jr., and Minister within the Public Works Ministry Deodat Indar. Attention was paid to infrastructure with ongoing work at the football ground. Simultaneously, a small ICT hub will be installed in the community to foster connectivity, especially for those involved in the GOAL program.
I'm working with sports personality across the country to reach into communities to work on developing positive attitude in community. And here in TUCVILLE today we came because we're doing numerous works in enhancing the infrastructure, the community infrastructure, the ground, the football ground, we're doing back the ground, the fence, access road, creating a hard tarmac for community and lights for community persons to look at.
According to the Guyanese leader, there is a high demand for technical personnel which is not being met. With this in mind, youths in the community were engaged on getting into skills training and later benefiting from employment opportunities.
I talked to some of the young people in relation to many of them are enrolled on the GOAL program, but they would like to have some access to the internet and to computer facilities. So we're going to put in a small hub in this area with some computers and the internet so they can go there as a center to do the online program and the GOAL program. Those are some of the things. Of course, we're working. There's enough space in the economy for everyone. One of the major complaints now is that people can't find workers, they can't find laborers, they can't find skilled persons. Only today I had a meeting, and that was a major complaint on a number of the projects. So we're taking young people from all these communities across the country, put them into accelerated technical training program, and then integrate them into the workforce.
Over the next week, various officials will also be assessing the drainage and road networks in the community. Meanwhile, the head of state also spoke to some squatters in the area about removal from the government reserve, something which officials will return to the area to iron out. Rupasina Ryan, The Evening News.
President Dr. Irfan Ali on Tuesday led an outreach to the Namstel in Hague on the west coast of Demerara, where a number of current issues faced by residents and farmers were heard and development plans were announced for the communities. Here is Rupasina Ryan again with the details.
During the outreach to the west coast of Demerara communities, President Dr. Irfan Ali was accompanied by Foreign Affairs Minister Hugh Todd, Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa, and Minister within the Public Works Ministry Deodat Indar. It was communicated that there are hundreds of acres of arable farmland within the Danamstel community, but there is a significant downturn in production. It was further communicated that prevailing weather conditions have been a bugbear in agricultural pursuits, while some farmers also called for additional equipment since they have been challenged in producing crops. The president, while calling for a collective engagement with farmers, urged that all arable lands be put to work.
We got to see how we can put all the land into production. That's the important thing. Get all the landowners and let's work with them to ensure that they put the land into production. That is a big thing for us now.
Additionally, the president and officials took a look at the community center ground, which has been in a deplorable condition. He notified that a project was awarded for upgrades to the ground, the pavilion, and a bridge, along with the installation of a basketball court.
They awarded the contract for the ground.
I heard.
And so what we can do, we can be doing back the ground, doing back the pavilion here, and put it in a basketball court. And I just saw the bridge also.
Yes.
The bridge, you need some work on the bridge. So I let them also work on doing some work on the bridge.
The bridge.
Yeah, but we got to work on ensuring this thing is done very quickly.
Yeah.
How do they get it weather?
We already have about 86 million in terms of so many rows here on the south side of the Namstel that we already went and picked up when we came. We already have the BOQ just for us to get the community, because Chief, what we're trying to do, the policy is that people from the community should be involved in the building out of the community. So we're getting a couple of people that registered a business to be part of that process.
That is the concrete road.
Concrete roads.
Over at Hague, Ali engaged residents on issues of concern in their community as he promised infrastructural and other developmental works for the area. In fact, he announced that some $275 million will be invested to execute critical road and revetment works along the main access road in Hague-Bagdam. Rupa Sinarayan, The Evening News.
Attorney General and Legal Affairs Minister Anil Nandlal has called out the APNU AFC opposition for not being able to put aside politics and support initiatives of the government that will benefit all Guyanese across the country, including the coalition supporters. More in this report.
Attorney General Anil Nandlal was at the time speaking about President Dr. Irfan Ali-led Men on Mission initiative that was launched last Friday. The program will see males in leadership capacity working with both young and adult men in every community to tackle societal scourges that affect them in order to uplift their lives. But according to Nandlal, the APNU-AFC opposition seems to be incapable of taking advantage of this opportunity to collaborate with the government for the betterment of all Guyanese.
We have an opposition that is incapable of the magnanimity of recognizing when an idea is good and to put personal, political, and insular differences aside and to embrace a good initiative. They are incapable of doing that.
According to the Attorney General, politicians do not always have to criticize their opponents on every matter. In fact, Nandlal contended that true leaders must be able to rise against political differences and embrace each other on national initiatives.
Nobody is asking you to abandon your cause or your focus or your objective of your political role. All we are saying that when there is a good initiative, there is nothing wrong. In fact, there is everything right in embracing that initiative. And when we are facing a problem as a collective, that problem is not directed to one segment of our country. Alcoholism, drug abuse, domestic violence, and ills that are peculiarly Guyanese well, not peculiarly Guyanese, but are pervading in our society, do not afflict one segment of our population, but it goes across political borders.
Already, over 5,000 males have signed on to the Men on Mission program that will be rolled out across the country.
The opposition has lost the opportunity to, or rather are incapable of recognizing or appreciating this opportunity for collaboration. We have repeatedly said that in our initiatives, there is a place for every single Guyanese, and we welcome all on board. What we will not do and what we will not countenance is a group of people who will want to hold the progress back, who will want to reverse the advancements that we are making.
Reporting for the Evening News, Fanu Manikchand.
Meanwhile, the Guyana government will soon be undertaking a feasibility study on the establishment of a law school in the country. According to Attorney General and Legal Affairs Minister Anil Nandlal, this was a recommendation by the Council for Legal Education in the Caribbean region. Back in September, the Council agreed to accept a proposal from Guyana to set up its own law school. The CLE subsequently outlined the requirements the country needed to fulfill. To this end, the Cabinet last week approved a decision that to proceed with satisfying these criteria, which includes conducting a feasibility study as recommended by the CLE. AG Nandlal noted that a team will soon be assembled to begin the work. The CLE administers legal professional education in the Caribbean through law schools such as the Hugh Wooden Law School in Trinidad and Tobago, where Guyanese law students are currently forced to attend. However, only the top 25 students are allowed each year into the program. With the cost of living in Trinidad deterring many persons from pursuing a legal career, the government of Guyana now offers limited fully funded scholarships to Hugh Wooden Law School. Under the APNU AFC administration, attempts were made to establish the Joseph Oscar Fitzclarence Haynes Law School, but the CLE denied permission in late 2017. Coming up, body of missing NYPD officer found, and education is the surest way out of poverty, says Labor Minister. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
Contractors, let the quality of your road constructions speak for themselves by investing in a walk-behind vibratory roller from Sylvie's. Apart from improving productivity, our roller provides better compaction for soil and asphalt. Designed with the ability to turn, this machine also offers great flexibility for precise work near walls and sidewalks. Order it now before it's gone at sylviesonline.com or at our 31 High and Hatfield Street store.
Play our virtual Chick Chick game today and get a chance to win big. With over 450 draws, 3 dices, and 52 bet types to choose from. You can also be a winner with Superbet. Visit www.superbet.gy or any one of our agents closest to you. Play responsibly. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 18 years and over.
Enjoy the thrill of internet shopping with Airpost. Simply log on to www.airpost.com. Sign up, shop online, and we'll deliver right into your hands. Airpost has partnered with all the major online stores to give you an unlimited range of shopping options straight from our website. And our 24-hour online service will walk you through any challenges. It's simple, it's fast, and it's fun. You don't need a credit card to shop. Visit any of our offices or call our attendants. We'll help you through the process. Airpost. You shop, we share.
Cheryl, girl, you want me? Sorry, I'm interrupting y'all.
Marla, I'm here taking the census.
Girl, you done got a husband already, huh?
Miss, I am a census taker, going door to door so that everyone can be interviewed and counted in the National Census 2022.
What is the census though?
Well, the population and housing census is a count of the population and all the buildings every 10 years.
Getting counted transforms an entire nation.
From Region 1 to Region 10.
You know what? I believe our village needs a health center.
I think it needs some roads too. You see the man boots out there, how it's full of mud, eh?
That's why I'm asking Mrs. De Silva a few questions from our questionnaire. We record the answers and then the data is used to help shape the future of the country.
Oh, so the two y'all not...
Oh gosh.
We call the Guyana Trade Tankers School Football League Grand Finals this Sunday from 1500 hours at the Ministry Ground. Come see President College face-off with Cummins Lodge for third and fourth place. Then at 1700 hours, Golden Grove versus Christian Bar Wisma Secondary, who will be the 2022 champion of the Guyana Trade Tankers School Football League, happening this Sunday at the Ministry Ground. Come support. Action starts at 1500 hours. Sponsored by Guyana and Trade Tankers with support from the Ministry of Education and MVP Sports.
Welcome back. You're watching the Evening News. 3 days after he disappeared while swimming at the Oranduke Falls in the North Pacaraimans, a search and recovery team has found the body of missing NYPD officer 43-year-old Gladstone Haynes. Haynes drowned at around 15 hours on Sunday whilst he and other tourists were at the popular destination in Region 8. Police said that Haynes and the mother of his children, along with other tourists, boarded a plane from the Eugene F. Correa International Airport to do a tour of Kaitro Falls and Oranduke Falls. Reports are that Haynes was swimming below the Oranduke Falls in the water, which was high and streaming heavily at the time. He reportedly went under the surface of the water and disappeared. After searching for 3 days, the man's body was discovered this morning. We now tell you that placing Guyana on the pedestal as a premium ecotourism destination has seen increased attraction from tourists, and government will continue to invest in this traditional sector. This was the position shared as Tourism Awareness Month kicked off on Tuesday. Here's more.
On Tuesday, the launch of Tourism Awareness Month was organized by the Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce in collaboration with the Guyana Tourism Authority and the Watuka Guest House, Linden. In attendance were Prime Minister Mark Phillips, Tourism, Industry and Commerce Minister Onij Walran, President of TAG Harinan Pesod, Chairman of the Region 10 Tourism Committee Devin Sayers, and Mayor of Linden, Wanika Arindel. The Prime Minister voiced that this year's theme, All Sectors Want Tourism, reinforces the Guyana government's commitment to inclusive development through its One Guyana policy. According to him, monies are being injected to develop the traditional sectors, as Guyana also benefit from its vast oil revenues. This includes tourism. The Prime Minister added that as government actively work to make Guyana a premier destination for ecotourism, areas such as Linden are becoming more popular as tourism hotspots. Meanwhile, Minister Walran said the main focus is now to develop the country after coming out of the pandemic and withstanding the harsh effects which followed. She noted too that there will be deliberate efforts to ensure that this year's calendar of events is hosted all across the 10 administrative regions. Bashar Mohammed, Evening News.
Our Berbice correspondent Andrew Carmichael now reports that authorities are hoping this year ends with less than 100 road fatalities. The current number of road deaths stand at 89. Here are the details.
This year, Road Safety Month is being observed under the theme, Safe Driving Saves Lives. Last year was the first time in 16 years that Guyana recorded road deaths under 100. In 2021, there were 80 fatal accidents, resulting in 87 deaths, a 28.8% reduction to the 2020 figures. Currently, the road fatalities stand at 89. Home Affairs Minister Rupson Ben believes Guyana can still finish this year with fewer than 100 road deaths.
We've fallen by 2%, 2.8 or something percent behind the year-to-date from last year. So we are slightly worse off. But given the fact that we are now launching the National Road Safety Month, that the Guyana National Safety Council is motivated and energized, along with the police and ourselves too, on this question. We are intending, we're hoping strongly that we will at least achieve again another year where the road deaths are below 100 for any year.
The long-term plan, the Home Affairs Minister said, is to have road fatalities drop to below 50 for any given year. He says the plan is to achieve this within 10 years. However, to achieve this, he said, several initiatives will have to be implemented. These include new legislation and enforcement methods.
There's a question of increasing fines. The fines are paltry, laughable, and people don't take any care or concern about the amount of fines they have to pay because they think it's, beer money or something. But we intend to increase the fines in relation to speeding, drinking and driving. We intend to improve the amount of breathalyzers which will be employed to reduce the question of drinking under the influence. And also we have to pay attention to driving while under the influence of drugs.
Meanwhile, a police command center is soon to be set up in Region 6, through which persons will be monitoring cameras in the region. For Evening News, Andrew Carmichael.
Housing and Water Minister Colin Crow recently visited Region 1, where he conducted an assessment of works aimed at alleviating water woes faced by residents of those hinterland and riverine communities. Find out more in this report.
Major works are ongoing in Region 1 Birima-Waini to improve the water supply systems there. During a recent visit to Mabaruma, Housing and Water Minister Colin Crow announced that the government has implemented initiatives aimed at addressing water woes faced by residents in that sub-district.
In the first quarter of 2023, which is only a few months away, we'll be sending a rig that is currently in the Matikai sub-region to drill a number of wells. And these include within Canhill as well as for Mabruma settlement. And so those wells are expected to suffice to be able to supply the entire Mabruma Central and Kampong area. In addition to that, we are here at the Wanina substation. Well, the Wangna community currently access water from this system as well as the Husuroro area. So we'll be drilling a well within the Wangna village, and so Wangna will be independent in terms of their water source. And so what that means is that this Wanina system will now be able to supply to the Husuroro community greater volume of water.
He also announced that plans are on stream to increase pumping hours.
We'll be changing over this engine. It's a new engine that we've recently sent here for this Wanina system, and so because we've been having issues. So what that will allow us to do is be able to have additional pumping hours. So I want to assure persons within the Mabruma municipality vicinity that or those constituencies that to assure them in a few months they will be receiving larger pumping hours of water and even improved level of service.
Minister Kroll also announced that water woes in Port Kaituma and Maruka are being addressed.
By the end of next week, a new engine will be sent to Port Kaituma to allow us to be able to have additional pumping hours. But then that is only half of the issue. Currently, they source the water from the creek, and there are concerns about the quality of the water from the creek. So we will be drilling a new well sometime in December in Port Kaituma to allow all of those persons in Port Kaituma, Pittsburgh, etc. to be connected from a new well system that will see them getting a better quality of water. In Muruka sub-region, there is a pat rig that is currently drilling a number of wells there. For example, they've just completed a well at Hordaya. The pat rig is currently being relocated to Kwebana. When it's finished with Kwebana, we'll come to Manawarin and come back after Manawarin. We'll go back to Waramuri because we've had some challenges at Waramuri in terms of the well that we're drilling there. Work has started, but we want to ensure that we still have some more completed before the year's finished, and that's why we moved the rig. When we finish with Warmuri, we'll be drilling a well in Santa Rosa to cater for the source of the water that they're currently receiving. Likewise, from the spring and the creek, that's their current source. So we want to have the natural water from the soil.
Regional Chairman Brentnall Ashley welcomed these interventions, which he said will improve the quality of life of residents.
The RDC is willing to partner and to support the efforts of the Ministry of Housing and Water in any way that we can, so that the lives of the people can be better and so that we can achieve this objective of making our communities and its people prosperous.
Noting that education is not just about academics, Labor Minister Joseph Hamilton contended that this is the surest way out of poverty, and he encouraged all youths across the country to ensure they set themselves up for a prosperous future. Bisham Mohammed tells us more.
A total of 87 persons from several communities graduated with various skill sets offered by the Ministry of Labor's Board of Industrial Training at the Herstelling Assembly of God Global Outreach Center on Sunday. Addressing the gathering, Labour Minister Joseph Hamilton spoke of the importance of getting educated, whether it be through academics or technical skills. According to the minister, education is the surest way out of poverty.
What will take you out of poverty is education. It was as good as it was in 1950 and 60s. This afternoon, 2022, it is as good as it was then. What will take you out of poverty is education. There isn't a shortcut. There are many persons who thought there was a shortcut. Some of them we have already attended their funerals, and some are serving long sentences in the prison. There isn't a shortcut. It's not where you start. It's how you want it to end.
In the same breath, the Labour Minister called out those parents who create a storm if their child performs underwhelmingly at the National Grade 6 assessments.
You don't make a determination in a child's life at 10 and 12 years old. So for all parents who go crazy at common entrance, I would hope that you stop. School does not define who you will become, whether you become good or bad.
Meanwhile, Chief Executive Officer of the Board of Industrial Training, Richard Mong, revealed that some 6,000 persons across the country are expected to have benefited from the technical and vocational training programs before the end of 2022. Bisham Mohammed, The Evening News.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Thursday, November 3rd at 30 hours for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Thursday, November 3rd at 12:50 hours for a period of 1.5 hours.
15th MacCorp Invitational Tournament tees off Saturday, and Regal Confidence Legends set to defend title at PM T20 Cup. Details of these stories and more in this broadcast, sponsored by MacCorp, coming up on the other side of the break.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville.
It's November already, and soon it will be Christmas. So we at John Lewis Styles are giving away one Amazon Echo show every week in November and every day in December. stream music and videos, make video calls and control smart devices, alarms, reminders and lots more. Every $5,000 spent gives you a chance to win when you shop for clothing, footwear, watches, fragrances, handbags, luggage and accessories. So visit us on Waterloo Street. John Lewis Styles, simply different.
Did you know that when you leave your property unoccupied and unmanaged, it deteriorates much faster than you can imagine? Then before you know it, much of your hard-earned investment is wasted. At Hand in Hand Trust Corporation, property management is our business. Whether you travel for long periods, live overseas, or have several properties that require managing, let us at Hand in Hand Trust Corporation take care of this for you. Your property is safe with us. Hand in Hand Trust Corporation Incorporated, a member of the Hand in Hand Group of Companies.
Cheryl, girl, you want me? Sorry, I'm interrupting y'all.
Marla, I'm here taking the census.
Girl, you done got a husband already, huh?
Miss, I am a census taker, going door to door so that everyone can be interviewed and counted in the National Census 2022.
What is the census though?
Well, the Population and Housing Census is a count of the population and all the buildings every 10 years.
Getting counted transforms an entire nation.
From Region 1 to Region 10.
You know what? I believe our village needs a health center.
I think it needs some roads too. You see the man boots out there, how it's full of mud, eh?
That's why I'm asking Mrs. Da Silva a few questions from our questionnaire. We record the answers and then the data is used to help shape the future of the country.
Oh, so the two y'all not...
Oh gosh.
We go. The Guyana Trade Tankers School Football League Grand Finals this Sunday from 1500 hours at the Ministry Ground. Come see President College face-off with Cummins Lodge for 3rd and 4th place. Then at 1700 hours, Golden Grove versus Christian Bar Wisma Secondary, who will be the 2022 champion of the Guyana Trade Tankers School Football League, happening this Sunday at the Ministry Ground. Come support. Action starts at 1500 hours. Sponsored by Guyana and Trade Tankers with support from the Ministry of Education and MVP Sports.